Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a very awesome episode of Overkill Simulations. As today we are going to be discussing one of Virpil's Expert Series products. And in my personal opinion, this could absolutely be Virpil's best product that they have ever put out. Yes, I said that. The best product they have ever released. We're going to find out more why I think that in just a minute. Stick around. One app designed to do it all. Hanger Control brings everything together. Control bindings, hardware configuration, mod and profile management, application launching, add-ons, config files, and more, all managed from a single application. Mods Hanger goes beyond just mods and add-ons. It manages profiles, config files, text files, backups, snapshots, and helps keep your community folders clean and organized. Application Hanger launches your entire sim stack with a single click. Your Stream Decks are fully controlled through the Hanger Control plugin, while all of your other Stream Deck plugins remain active and available. Built by a simmer for simmers, Hanger Control adds new features and hardware support every week based on community feedback. It's a one-time purchase with lifetime updates, no subscriptions. You can try it for free for 5 days with no restrictions at overkillsimulations.com. Just create an account, head to your account page, download the latest version, and get started. And if you're looking for in-depth Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft tutorials, check out my Patreon site. Links to Hanger Control and Patreon are down in the description below. All right, folks, so best product ever is quite a bold statement when it comes to Virpil, and especially when we're dealing with something such as a flight grip is what we're dealing with today. This is going to be the VPC flanker grip. So saying the best product ever is probably a really bold statement. You guys are going to find out more of why I'm saying that. I mean the best overall, quality, build, type, features, right? So obviously it's not going to be the best throttle. It's not their best rudder pedal, but in my opinion, their best overall product they have released. Now, little backstory here. I have been using Virpil products for going on now 3 years straight. Non-stop, I have been using the Mongoose 2 flight grip, which is now discontinued. I was very, very sad when I heard about that. It has been an awesome flight grip. I have tried out many of their other grips. I have the Apache grips. I have grips from other companies, Moza, VKB, Thrustmaster, and as you guys know, they are all interchangeable, so I've gotten to try everything out. And I've been doing all of this on the Virpil CM3 base. This is their flagship grip at the moment, as it's part of the Expert Series, and it is definitely now becoming my new flagship. I have been using this product nonstop for about a month now in all of my testing with Hanger Control. For those of you who don't know what Hanger Control is, overkillsimulations.com. Check it out, and you guys will have more context of what that's all about. But in all of my testing, this is the grip that's been used. My convenience flying or entertainment flying, this is what I've been used. I will say, obviously, it shines the most in combat, but it definitely, I use it for all of my general aviation commercial flight as well. I had the opportunity to test it out and go through the unboxing, and the reason being is that when I first got it, the reason why I'm pointing that out is when I first got it, I just unboxed it and went to war on it. Well, then they had, by mistake, sent me another one, which I sent back. I did not get to keep it. I sent it back, but that did give me the opportunity to go through the unboxing with you guys as well, so you're going to see that in the video as well. So now let's get into it real quick. So obviously, first off, it comes with this very nice leather dust cover. Believe it or not, this was a huge thing for me. I live in Tucson, Arizona, and keeping the dust off of my flight stuff is a full-time job. I have to dust all of these products 2 to 3 times a week. It is, and I'm not even exaggerating, it's a genuine stress to me because I have OCD. So keeping things clean is a big deal to me, right? So anyway, that's a stress point. So anyway, that's the first part, but it's very, very nice. It's full leather. Very, very nice material. Hope you guys can see that embroidering very nicely done. Very, very good job. And then you also get the base comes with it as well. Get a very nice base to store your grip onto. Has nice rubber feet on it. That makes it real nice for standing on a desk or a shelf. And then, of course, there's the grip itself. Very, very phenomenal. And now it's time to break down all the things about the grip that make me very, very happy. One last thing is you also get a few replacement hats that come with it that you can actually swap the hats out if you wish. There is a couple different rocker style hat switches that you guys can swap out. Those are included in the box as well. But let's get to the big portions of this, right? Why you were all here, what makes it so fantastic? Well, here's why. This thing, from its build quality to the way it feels to the features, in such a small box, may be the most advanced and the best quote unquote item they put out. Now, obviously, that doesn't trump, over throttles and their rudder pedals and things like that. This is a whole category of stuff, but this is the VPC Flanker grip. Now, I had the distinct advantage of being able to already use this, and then by mistake, they sent me another one. I sent the second one back. No, I don't get to give it away. I sent the second one back, but the cool part is that now I get to do the unboxing for you guys, because initially I had unboxed it. I was super excited to see this one. So now I get to walk through it all with you guys. So you just take the sleeve off. Okay. So like I said, I have already used this, and it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now I got to remember, last time I almost broke the box doing this. I got to remember how it opens. There it is. All right. So it just has that flip over tab. And then we're going to get under here. And we're going to lift this up. And we have the golden piece itself. Now, got a couple little knickknacks in there that we're not going to worry about for today's video, because it doesn't really crush what needs to be crushed here. This is where the magic is. So again, I've already got a ton of use of this thing. And I'll be putting this one right back on once we're done with the review and using it. But look at this. This flight stick is the coolest I have seen yet. It's an all-metal construction, aluminum steel parts, just absolutely clean. The grip is amazing. It feels so smooth, so perfect in the hand. Your hand just wraps around it and you're right where you want to be. Now, with that being said, you need to remember I have big hands, okay? My hands are not small by any means, okay? So there, I guess opinions may vary on this one, right? But look at all the different features that we have on this thing. And every action you push on this feels so solid and so clean. It is the best that they've put out. It just is. I have been using the Mongoose 2 flight stick ever since they gave it to me almost 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. And this thing just absolutely, I was even hesitant about, like everyone was talking about, I'm like, yeah, it'll be okay. Sure, I'll check it out. And then when I grabbed it, dude, it was just like, okay, well, my Mongoose is gone. So let's talk about some of the things that you wouldn't think were important. The textured gripping here grabs onto the inside of your palm, and it just feels like it holds you in place. It feels like your hand just sort of grips into it, and it just locks your hand right where it needs to be. The metal flip switch here is so cool. It's one of those things that you're going to find yourself just doing this just cuz. But then they have the flared flag, just like they had before, that brings it back down. But that is also a button in itself. So that's trigger 1. Then you have this guy down here, trigger 2. Okay, and you can hear it. At least I hope you can. And then of course you have the trigger. Now this is single stage trigger. Your dual stage is here. Okay, so you can do something like this, but I don't feel the dual stage there. The only one that's a little hard to get to is the weapons release. You're never going to accidentally hit that. I can tell you that. Like, I have to stretch. If you watch the stretch line here on my thumb, I have to really bring my thumb up to get to that one. And I do notice that when I'm flying. Okay, but let's go ahead and get this up here. Oops. There we go. It's not near as bad when your hand's in the correct position either. So the hat switches are phenomenal. Everything has a nice rubber grip to it. They've sort of stepped away from that plastic hat grip. These are all rubber gripping, so you can really grab onto them very nicely with a gentle touch, which makes a huge improvement over the previous plastic ones. Okay, your thumb button. The only thing that I miss here is that thumb hat, like the Hornet has, but obviously this is off a Flanker. So it is a replica, but it would have been cool if they had still said, you know what, we're going to throw that in there. Okay, the hat in here, okay, is up and down. So you have a 2-stage up-down switch, and then you do have a depression on it as well. The side hat here is very convenient for your different master modes. And again, same principle. 1, 2, 3 in depression. No vertical. All right. This is probably one of the best things that I've seen yet. The tension on the paddle wheel, or on the paddle, is superb. It feels very smooth, very intentional, and it is very, very accurate. My testing for this particular paddle switch was actually done in the DCS World Spitfire, as the Spitfire uses a paddle grip for its wheel brakes, and it was very easy to control as much as I wanted or as little as I wanted. And of course, down there at the bottom, you have a secondary button there that you can drop down. You still have your pinky button down over here on the side, which again can be a little awkward to get to. So keep things that you're not going to want to accidentally. I mean, you want to make that an intentional button, whatever that is. But you can see my hand still rests on it again, but I have big hands, so I'm trying to emphasize on that. My hands are not small. Okay. I can't stress it enough, you guys. This is the coolest grip they have ever put out. And even with the difference in the triggering systems, okay, I still absolutely prefer this over anything else that I have used so far. It is a fantastic grip. And you have plenty of workarounds for anything that you wanted that dual stage trigger for. Okay, you could even do something like this. 1 and 2, like your finger does go up in there. And again, quoting it again, Mr. Big Hands here. Okay, it's not that hard to just come up and bring it in. Bring it in. So like if you're like, where this comes to my brain is the A10, right? Coming in on the A10, you're doing your gun run. Okay, stabilize, release, right? And then it's a very simple, okay, and you bring it back down. And like I am squeezing with that finger right now, squeezing, so you're not going to accidentally pop it off. Like it's a very intentional thing still. So it worked out really, really nicely. The multiple actions they have here for your Apache pilots, you know, with the safety guards, you have your safety guard switches here that you can take advantage of if you want. You know, your trigger guard, boom, there you go. If you don't have the Apache grip, although that's another one from Virpil that I do recommend off the hand anyway. But you guys, I can't tell you enough. Now, the reason why we're not doing live action, flying, showing it in action is because it's the grip. Okay, all of the action, the smoothness, things like that we all like to talk about, that comes from the base, not the grip. So I'm trying to keep this out of the sim because I want you guys to hear what the raw opinions are. Now, here's the cool part. I've been using this solidly in every video testing that I've done, even with the development of Hanger Control. If you guys are interested in that, Hanger Control, overkillsimulations.com. It's a really awesome application. Go check it out. But in the development of Hanger Control, I have been using this exclusively. So which trust me, that means a lot of hours. And it's great. You know, the hand rest adjustment, I think is one of the best that they've done yet. And it's something about the way, I don't know if it's just the way that this is arched. Let me get that camera to knock it off. There we go. I don't know if it's just the way that is arched or what, but there is something different about the way this one feels compared to the other adjustable grips. Now it is adjustable. Okay, so you can set this to where you like. This is your stopper, and it's to prevent it from, you know, soft spinning on its own, basically making adjustments that you didn't want it to make from vibration, moving, etc. But it is an absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't know what else I can really brag about this thing. It is worth every penny, you guys, absolutely every penny, and it is definitely worth any weight that could possibly be present at the time of ordering it. This is what I think is their best grip that they have ever put out. It is just the best. I am so unbelievably impressed by this one that I don't know what else to say other than it's the best. This is the best grip I have ever used, and I want you to keep in mind of all the amazing companies that I get to work with. You know, Thrustmaster, Virpil, VKB, Moza, all of them. And this grip right now, at the time of making this video, in my personal opinion, trumps everybody because you've got everything that you could possibly need and a bit more. The compromises that were made for, like what we talked about, the dual stage trigger has been shifted back out because you still have an option of taking advantage of that feature. And if anything, you actually have more control of it and you're less likely to do a bump on a dual trigger setup. Not that that's a huge issue, but, you know, calling it out where I can call it out. Downsides, I don't have any, and I know that sounds silly, and that's a dangerous thing to say. Especially given, you know, yes, I know the product was provided to me, and people are going to say that I'm just, you know, oh, because it was given to them free. Guys, go and watch some of my older videos. I've been given plenty of free products that I've shot down. No pun intended. Weapons released. Anyway, I really don't have any for this one. I don't. The setup was easy as hell. The VPC software recognizes it immediately. I know this is a question. I was able to put this on my AB9 base, and all of the buttons and paddles worked just fine. I didn't have any conflicts with the software. Now, obviously, you had to bind the buttons outside of the Moses software, but I was still able to use the AB9 with this grip on it and have the force feedback option if you guys are interested in going that route. I know that is a question that came up. I had zero problems with that. I didn't try it on the AB6, but it's sort of tomatoes in my opinion. If it's going to work on the 9, it's probably going to work on the 6. You know, and that's the advantage of these type of connectors. All the companies that are using these are smart, in my opinion. It's one thing about WinWing that I've never understood is why they would not follow suit with the rest of the cats. So with WinWing, in case anyone's wondering what that means, the collar here that screws it to the base for WinWing devices, it's on the base, so you can't interchange them. So anyway, guys, Virpil.com, VirpilUSA.com if you're shopping from the USA. Yes, they have usually a wait time, almost always. I think I waited almost 6 months for this guy. And that was just, that's when I was said, hey, we want to send this to you. And then 6 months later, it showed up at the house, right? So it's just because I'm a reviewer doesn't mean I get it instantly. Trust me. But they're worth it. They're worth it. With the beautiful part about when it comes to Virpil is you are going to get every dime you pay for. You truly do. And this is just another example of that. Their excellence and their attention to detail and their constant upgrading in the quality of their builds and the feature list of their builds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you something to think about. If you were on the fence about Virpil, I highly recommend it, even with the waits and the downfalls. As far as delivery times, I can't stress it enough. I do believe that right now, at the time of making this video, for combat especially, but I use these for general aviation, but for combat arena specifically, definitely, I think that Virpil still takes the cake above everybody else. So anyways, as always, guys, stay safe and healthy. Again, don't forget to check out overkillsimulations.com if you're interested in Hangar Control, which is a one-stop shop application to handle all of your simulation and gaming needs. At least it will in time. As always, folks, talk to you in the next one.